Hey, you guys, this is Jerry Mateo with recordingsoftware.com. Remember to check out the link in the description below where you can get an awesome deal on the two products we're featuring in today's video. Hey, you guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new dual FM synthesizer, Aparillo from Sugarbytes, and we're going to be checking out the latest version of Bitwig. So let's just start off with Bitwig. Bitwig is basically a DAW, sequencer, audio and MIDI recording and editing software, and it's great for mixing, mastering, and live use. You have a ton of effects that are built in, and you have a bunch of ways to edit and create music. You can see that I have a really simple little orchestration set up right here. And a lot of these things can actually be shown and hidden depending on your preference. Now, for me, I like to have my mixer window out, but you can easily show it up to be your effects, channels, and tracks, which you can actually highlight several effects and group them into one rack. You have your MIDI editing and your sequencing. You have an edit mode, a mix window, which has your clips, which you can record audio and MIDI clips to have them synced up and playing in a specific order. And then you have your arranger. This has a really easy drag and drop way of working. You can pretty much drag any effect and any instrument into anything. Let's say I have a couple of these and I want to make a group. I can just highlight them, group them. Now they're in a folder. It's pretty easy to use. Besides that, we're going to be taking a look at Aparillo. And this is a really powerful FM synthesizer. Let me just play something real quick. That's a basic stock Dreamer sound from the brass section. Let's say we go for a weird crazy effect. And we can even do stuff like drums. Since it's done by Sugarbytes, you have controls for everything. You have your dual FM synthesis right here. You have your 3 different algorithms. And you have your different algorithms for the way that it quantizes or moves up and down in pitch. Let's say we tune it down. Now watch what happens if I mess with these little parameters right here. Each and every one of these is basically an LFO or envelope control or even mod wheel control that can basically be applied to any parameter in the entire signal chain. Now if I do something on the synthesis section, maybe we'll change the ratio a little bit and we'll set it up by a mod envelope. We'll change this one. This one's good the way it is. And then for here, we'll actually change the way it does this pitch shifting by using a LFO. So here we go. And we could do maybe thirds. And let's do something like a minor fifth. So you can do lots of crazy, ridiculous effects. Now, another thing is these LFOs right here are fully integrated and customized. So you can make them go any shape that you want, and you can even trigger them differently. So let's say I have one going up and one going down. I set the rate a little differently, the mod phase a little differently, and I also add some jitter on one. So that way, one of them is not completely in sync. Now that's a subtle difference. What if we add a little bit more control on the envelopes and we actually do a little bit of modulating on their own? Again, every one of these can be controlled and changed to do anything you want. You can even click and drag and create shapes. And then if we go to the synthesis section, now that's some pretty ridiculous synthesis right there. But you have full-on control, and you even have this little orbit, which basically controls everything and turns it into a completely different sound. So let's go into brass and let's do something easy like this Dreamer DF. Let's go into the effects. As you can see, we have everything from filters, spatial ranges, pattern waveforms, which is basically panning. You have delays and reverbs. We're going to bring down the delay quite a bit, keep the reverb up. We're going to keep this filter and we're going to modulate it a tiny bit. And we're going to use this, and we're going to have this set up by an LFO. Something weird like that, right? We're going to set up our ADSR to have a more of an interesting little sound. And then use the orbit control, which basically uses all of these little macro controls that we've created to create a completely different sound or modulate in between all of them. Now, if we go here, we initialize all of them. We randomize the objects, the amounts, and the radiuses for everything. and we even customize some of them by right-clicking. We can actually either record down or set up a different position for this with every note. So I'm going to record it down, and I'm going to have it set up for 4 bars. We hit record, and we just start moving it around. You'll see how a little line goes through. Now, if we click this, you'll see it moves on its own. We'll play something. So that's a really great way of creating a sound that you like and then making it modulate in between everything so it completely changes to whatever you want it to be. I'm going to set my user preset, which is this one. And then we're going to listen to this really simple orchestration that I created. Now, this is using only Aparillo. There's nothing else but Aparillo and maybe a couple of EQs and stuff like that. But it's just Aparillo to create every single sound here. So here we go. So pretty cool, pretty easy. And like I said, Aparillo created everything from the drums to the bass to the weird pinging sounds. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Remember to check out the links in the description below. This is Jerry Mateo with recordingsoftware.com, and I'll see you guys next time.